Place. 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 So when I teach place, I teach it in stages. Right now, last night I started, it's just about getting him on the place cot, getting him comfortable, getting on the place cot. Place. Because he has a weird thing with different surfaces and floors and things. So it's really just about getting him on there, getting him used to hearing me say the word. Place. We did a little bit of sit on place last night to see how he would do. Place. But today it's about switching from prey drive, right there, and getting him on here, just standing for some time. How long can he just stand on there? Because he wants to go and smell the grass. He wants to go into prey drive. He wants to go back into the kennel room. He wants to get away from doing anything other than this. I'm asking him to be in pack drive, and that is not what has been reinforced with Duke. He has had a heavy reinforcement in prey drive. He's had heavy suppression of prey drive through corrections. And he's got a high prey drive anyway. I think a lot of it has to do with it's a very unfulfilled prey drive. It's been suppressed for a long time over the course of his life. Place. So right now, it's just about getting him to do what I ask him to do, just stand on this thing for a little while. Place. Without going into this escape. I got to get off it. Or I want to go smell the grass because that's what he's been allowed to do. Place. One of the things his parents said when I first talked to them a few weeks ago, they told me how their walks were, and I immediately just said, stop walking him. He's in prey drive the entire walk, or he's getting corrected out of prey drive, but that correction's really not effective. So it's just a battle. They're frustrated, he's frustrated. So I just said, let's just stop practicing that. Let's just stop the walk. Nobody's having a good time on the walk. I'm not saying walking your dog is not important, but if your walks are a practice constantly in frustration, or practice in prey drive, or practice, they're just not the way you want them to go, stop doing it. The better thing to do on a walk, if your walks are like that, where you don't look forward to them, you're frustrated, your dog's frustrated, they're pulling, you're pulling, they're distracted, you're trying to get their attention, and it's just not working. The operative word being trying, it's not effective. Best thing to do, take your dog out on a leash and just sit in your driveway. Get a chair and sit in your driveway and have your dog sit. If you're going to walk for a half an hour, you're better spent doing that. And then you can move down the sidewalk a little bit. So he's about to sit down. Just through having him, I'm not asking him to sit. This is fantastic. So all I've asked him to do, this is stage one, all I've asked him to do is just stand on here for a little time. Actually, this is stage 2. Last night was stage 1, just getting him on the place cot, off the place cot. Lots of repetitions, saying place, getting him on the place cot, taking him off, getting him on the place cot. Here, having him hear me say place. That's stage 1. This is stage 2, where all I'm asking him to do is get on here and stand. I'm gonna move away and let's see how long he can stand on there before he either decides to get off it, which is now he's switching out of pack drive. If he's getting off of this place cot, he's going into prey drive, or he's going into flight. So that's going to happen. You saw him do that. Or he's going to go deeper into pack drive and just sit on his own and lay down on his own. You heard me. I didn't add pressure on the leash. I didn't tell him to sit. I didn't tell him to lay down. This is beautiful. What happened, so I got the video last night. It cut out because the phone got too hot. But we did get to a point last night where he got on the place cot and laid down. There were some kind of bobbles where he would try to lay down. You could tell psychologically he didn't want to. He was very uncomfortable, but his body was telling him just to lay down. And so he would lay down and immediately get up and get off the place cot. And he did that a few times. And then finally where we ended was him laying down, very, very similar to what you see here. And so how you end a session with your dog, how you end a walk with your dog, how you end any activity you do with your dog, a car ride. If you end the car ride with excitement and anxiety, the next car ride that you begin is going to start with excitement and anxiety. If you end feeding time with excitement and anxiety, you're going to begin feeding with excitement and anxiety, and that's going to prevail. If you end a session with calm, state of mind, pack drive, you end it how you want to begin next time, this is what you're going to get. And this, I don't even know, it took 4 or 5 minutes to get him to lay down without me even asking. So that is huge progress for Duke. This is a new environment. He's been here now 36 hours, about 36, maybe 48. Yeah, he checked in late Thursday night. It's Saturday morning. So this is really our 4th focused session, and he's already learning place, which is going to be huge for him. Place for me, as many of you know that have watched any of my videos, or if I've trained you or worked with your dog, place is a tool, but it's also a concept. And what it is for me is it's pack drive. It's a place where he can go to feel comfortable. He can go to turn off. He can go to feel safe and secure. He can go to just downshift and unwind himself. That this is a choice for him, an opportunity, an alternative to all the behaviors he does that really don't feel good to the animal, meaning being reactive, being anxious, nervous, being afraid, showing aggressive behaviors. This is an alternative to all of those things, because all of those things are dripping adrenaline into his system, cortisol, which is a stress hormone. He's getting dopamine hit from those activities. So this is an alternative to that. This is Zen. This is meditation. Look at this happy guy. He can just lay there. Planes are flying overhead. Yesterday he was looking up at the planes, very distracted. Planes are moving, he's looking up. Now he's understanding, hey, I can just sit here and watch the world go by and relax. I don't have to smell everything. So this is pack drive. Place is like an idle state for a car, right? I'm not putting him in neutral. I'm just putting him in idle. I'm kind of putting him in park. And so I'm going to allow him to be here for however long he wants. When he gets up, probably have him go back one more time and call it. This is work right here. This is the work that Duke has needed for his entire life. I'm not standing near him. I'm not managing him. The leash is loose. He's free to go. This is a 10-foot leash. So if he wants to get up, he's free to get up. That's the other thing that I teach about place that's different than a lot. He's not going to get corrected for getting up off a place ever. He's free to get up off a place when he wants in any situation, because if I want him to go back to place, I'll send him back to place. I'll let him know, go back to place. So if we have guests in the home and we're using place as kind of a reset point where the dog can relax in this stressful situation of meeting new people or having guests in the home, I'm going to send the dog to place. When they're calm and relaxed and they get up off a place, I'm going to allow them to get up off a place. If they go to place and I send them to place and they get on place and they're there for 5 seconds and jump up and they're excited, I'm sending you back. It didn't serve its purpose as a tool. Place, right? So place is a tool. It's a concept for the dog to go and relax. So I'm gonna go still at that stage 2 with him. Place. I'm not at stage 3 where I'm gonna start asking him to actually lay down actively. Place. I'm still at stage 2, where I just want him to stand on the place cot. If he lays down, that's a bonus. That was a bonus. That wasn't what I necessarily wanted for this session. That's what I want comprehensively at the end of things, of course. Place. But all I expect in this session is for him to stand on the place cot longer than he did last night. That's it. That's it. Because I know that eventually it's going to translate into him sitting and laying down. That if I'm just consistent, I just want you to stand on here. I want you to be on here. I want you to be on here. He's going to get ahead of that pattern and say, gosh, every time I step off of this, he says place and brings me back on. Maybe I'll just get comfortable here and stop stepping off. Maybe I'll just stay here. Seems like that's what this guy wants. And dogs just want to please us as humans. And so all I'm doing is showing him what pleases me, what I want. That's it's called communication. In any relationship, what do you want? You communicate to your significant other what you want. If you do, your relationship's gonna be better. If you don't, place. Well, they're not a mind reader, nor is your dog a mind reader. They don't just know coming out of the womb what they're supposed to do as dogs. Place. But I think a lot of times, well, I know a lot of times we as humans expect them just to know how to behave and how to do things because our last dog did, or whatever the case is, or, well, your dog, you should just know. No, we have to teach them. So when he is on place, standing, I move away so that I'm not applying psychological pressure. Place. Because I want him to feel safe and secure with me, that he can come off, that I'm not forcing him to stay on there. Place. I am applying pressure to get him on because I've got to switch him from prey drive, strong prey drive in the grass here, into pack drive. But once he's on here, there's no pressure. If he gets off, there's pressure. Place. So that was very light. So he's probably about to lay down or sit again, just based on that little bit of pressure it took. Place. Place. See, every time he steps off, I look at that as him, it's his resistance, him saying no. I don't want to be in pack drive. I'd rather be in prey drive, smelling the grass, because that's what's easier for me. So, and I am just saying, okay, that's fine. You can switch into that, and I'm going to switch you back. That's our job as leaders, is to lead him, is to switch him where we want him to be. Place. 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 If you notice, I'm not just talking at him. Place. My tone of voice is not questioning. Place. I'm also not place. Hard yelling at him. Place. I'm just making a statement. Flat. Place. Giving direction. A lot of people, when we are working with our dogs, will sound like this. Place. Sounds like a question. It means I'm unsure if that's what I should be doing. So he's going to be unsure. Some dogs, I'll move these stages a little bit faster. Duke's 9 years old. He's had a lot of time practicing being in a certain state of mind, doing things, getting away with things being allowed. Place. So I'm not rushing him. Place. He's had a lot of hardness. Place. In terms of training methods, techniques, he's had a lot of heavy-handedness, a lot of tightly gripped leashes. Place. A lot of corrective, aversive techniques and methods. He's had a lot of softness in terms of leadership, which I think a lot of those methods are weak leaders. But we can go into that at a different time. But he hasn't really had any leadership that's been soft but firm, if that makes sense. Place. Soft but fair, maybe, is a better way. Soft and confident. I'm not being hard on him, but I am confident. I am giving him direction. Place. I'm not being hard on him. I'm not correcting him at all. I'm simply staying consistent with what I'm doing. I'm letting him know what he can expect of me. That every time he steps off, I'm going to bring him back on. That's it. That's our relationship right now. You must first and always, whether you have a brand new puppy or a 9-year-old dog, first and foremost, show them what they can expect of you before you go ahead and start expecting things of them. So this is going to be the point where we end it. He's laid down again. Pack drive. He's accepted. He's learning. He's letting go of this anxiety, letting go of everything around him. He's in a new environment. He doesn't quite know me yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. His tongue's not fully spatulated out of his head, and it's warm out here, so he's not as stressed as he has been. Look at him shifting around. Now he's getting comfortable moving and kind of shifting around a little bit. So I don't have any expectations of him. He's had a lot of expectations put on him. So he deserves and is going to respond better to leadership that's different than what he has experienced. Soft, confident leadership that's not expecting things of him, leadership that is showing him, hey, this is what you can expect of me as a leader. And then I'm going to teach, I already have begun, I'm going to teach his parents this. I already have started with them, just via text and phone conversations, just starting to plant these seeds of ideas that are a little bit different than what they have been used to as far as working with behaviorists and trainers in the past would do. So that's good. Different is good. Uncomfortable is good. Right, Duke? So this will be our stage 2 session of place. This is a huge win for him. I did not expect this from him. It's not surprising, but I don't expect it, right? If that makes sense. So, take home message, if you're watching this video still, is show your dog what they can expect of you before you expect things from your dog. If you don't know what that means exactly, sit on it, ponder it, think about it. And then if you still don't know what it means, send me a message and let me know what you came up with, what your interpretation is of it, and I can help you interpret it and help you apply it, because it is critical that you show your dog what they can expect of you. It will also save your relationship with your dog. When we expect things of our dogs, well, there's the possibility of frustration happening, because if they don't do it, we have that expectation and they're not happening, they're not doing it, he doesn't do it. Say, well, that's frustration. On a low level or a high level, it's frustration. So if we don't have expectations, I don't have an expectation of Duke, I'm not going to get frustrated with him. It's impossible to. I cannot be frustrated if I have no expectations. And as soon as you become frustrated with your dog, you lose any and all ability to be a leader for them. You lose any and all ability to affect any change that you want to see in your dog. So there you go. All right, Duke, let's go, bud. Good job.